insurance companies. Well, then the insurance company says, no, don't bill us, bill the homeowner.
Yeah,
And they'll turn it into the insurance company. Well, that's like kicking them when they're down.
Yeah, you don't do that.
well, that's what happened here, and those people didn't have $2,500.
There's a well driller over Fremont, they're retired now, but had a big well in and he served, I mean, and filled water tankers in the middle of the nights and for years and years and never charged him anything. He fell off a ladder in his garage and they sent the ambulance out there in the fire department and the township sent him a bill. He wasn't really happy about that,
Well,
after all the things he'd done for the township.
But we need to do a counter, come up with some sort of a counter offer so that they can vote on it Tuesday.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we revert back to the original contract we wanted to give to them.
Not the Beaver one.
No, the original contract that came from the lawyer.
Right. That would be my,
With
If
the
they had
2
accepted the
mills.
simplified contract we gave them,
the one I give to you
Right,
in
I know.
June or July, I have a couple things about that. And, something about they'd have to report hazardous material to us and all that kind of thing, and things like that, but, yeah, that cost recovery really bugged me, and the Fireboard will have the authority to invoice special hazard incidents required calling in special response. Yes, we have the authority of, you have to call in a special hazmat team, you'll bill the spiller,
yeah,
or whoever, you know.
Well, but we need to get something done immediately, because their meeting is Tuesday.
So what Wayne's asking, Dad, you gave that one contract out,
Yeah.
and you've said you've made some
Here it is.
changes in that?
There's the new version.
Well, hand that out so they can see it.
Right, and then, but do we
Explain
want
what
to
you
put on the
changed
cover
there.
letter that we were trying to,
Move
like I
on.
said, that we were trying to be nice and ask for 2 mills and not 3 or 4, or just say we want 2 and this is a contract?
Also in this contract, it didn't have a 10-year date or whatever, Jim. It had that, initial fee would equal 2 mills, multiplied, but a fee payable, you know, whatever.
to
And
me,
then it said annual adjustments in each year of this agreement after initial term on the first day of March. Also, it said that the township will, notify renewal by November 1st. Yeah, the authority shall provide the township with an invoice for a fee no later than first day of November each year.
all I look at is, it either should say a renewable each year for 10 years, or just say an annual contract. Because they have a millage for 2 mills for 10 years. To try to pay out less than that 2 mills is improper. It doesn't say it has to go to Walkerville Fire Department, but they have to pay for fire protection. So, and the other is, we've already voted to apply to Beaver Township year after next 2 mills. The argument that they shouldn't have to pay 2 mills because Beaver is invalid.
Right, because it's been a mill and a half for years.
Last month, I had a discussion with Robert after the meeting, and I brought up the Beaver Township contract. He says, don't bring up Beaver, they have nothing to do with us. We have nothing to do with Beaver Township, they have nothing, that doesn't
I know what
apply
you're
to
like,
us.
but that was just a few of the things I.
Oh, that's fine. But I'm just saying,
That to them or whatever.
Do we have a second for my motion to revert to this contract?
well,
Mike? Make it.
You second?
That's our counter
Yes.
proposal.
Yeah.
That's our counter proposal.
right, but does it say 2 mills in here? Do we
Yes.
wanna?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm just-
First
Could
year.
that be legal, that they pass a millage for 2 mills and they offer 1.5?
Well, they
They're
don't
gonna
have,
get the other half
Yes,
mil
yeah.
back to the people?
no.
As long as they spend that half mil on fire protection,
Right.
they're still within the wording of the millage.
Yeah, but they don't have to collect it.
Oh, yeah, anyway.
No, they can change to whatever they're
Right.
collecting.
Right, it passed for 2 mills, but they don't pay it till next year, so they could just, when they send out the tax bills,
2
they
mills
put it.
are collected right now, finances next year's fire department,
Right,
starting March.
but I'm just saying, but they can't, they're already gonna collect this year, but next year they could say, okay, we're only gonna tax you 1.5 mills. They don't, just because it passed, they do not have to collect it.
Yeah.
But if they collect it, I think they have to give it to somebody for fire protection.
Yeah, go for fire protection. Boulder Township went through that with our fire department.
Right. I mean, if you collect it, it's voted in and you collect it, you gotta give it to somebody for fire protection. Next year, they could just put on the tax bill, okay, we're rescinding it or whatever.
But I would strongly recommend sending that to them as a counter offer.
Anybody can get a chance to, I mean, this is the same, like I say, it's
It's
a
the
couple
same
of minor
one,
things,
but it's got all the legality in it that's supposed to be
Well, a
there.
lot of it is what they put in theirs, but it's worded a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's, so they're,
yeah.
they was kinda heading in the right direction, but
All I look at it is, if you accepted the simple one we gave you, it'd be a no-brainer now.
So,
Now you can deal with this one.
do you wanna attach the motion and support to something to it?
This one does have the recovery of fees in it.
Do you think we need to do that?
if we're special,
Put it at the board at a meeting, not the whole minute, you know,
if
just put the
like we
one
call it
line
have that
that
team,
we
we
were
call it,
there.
and have to pay them,
Motion.
we can bill,
Well, I
You
mean,
sit along the minutes, yeah.
bill,
Well, that's not the whole
spiller, or whatever.
Yeah,
can-
that's all put together now.
So, do we get support on that, your
Yeah,
motion?
Mike supported.
Any more discussion on this contract? Everybody,
To use the original
If they don't want it,
contract.
then let them deal with it.
well, and then in tune, there's a letter, piece of paper in your pile here,
The public notice.
public notice, that should go with this contract. And then it should go in the, I don't know, it should go in the paper,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree
I
that
have a
should go
little-
there too.
huh?
I have a little, I know it should, but,
Well, I look at it, whether we enforce it at the end of the month or not, we've at least made a public notice in all forms of legality to say, look, either do this or this is what's gonna happen.
But I think we need to send this copy with this letter to the board. And I think it should go in the Hart and Ludington paper, because if you wait till after our next meeting, it's too late, it needs to go in now.
Yeah, I would make there and maybe put it in the highlights too. Just because then they can't come back and say, well, public didn't know about it, or someone didn't know about it.
Does anybody see anything we should change to the wording? Or is that, I'm trying to keep it just simple.
I figured this gives protection for township people.
Yes.
And it gives some protection for the fire board that they can't come back and.
Can't come back and say, well, you didn't do, we didn't know about it, or
Well-
you didn't do that.
Man, it cost you that.
I know. Oh, Shannon, here, it's not cheap to put something in.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see this go somehow, this contract go out on Facebook or some goddamn thing so that people would know. No, it should go out so the public knows that this is what the contract is. I was gonna say put it in the paper, but it cost you damn much money. Well,
When we did that sewer system and they had to put a big ordinance. The people that, my God, they put a Wall Street Journal cheaper than here.
Yeah.
well, I think the public notice needs to go in at least the 3 papers, like Mike said, and it needs to go in maybe like 2 weeks, so, you know.
Yeah, run it for 2 weeks anyway.
Minimum. I'd like to,
Or
minimum,
maybe the whole month of
preferably
February.
3 weeks,
Yeah,
because that's, you're supposed to publish things for 3 times.
okay.
And that way it gives a chance for people to say, well, we didn't know nothing about it.
Let's just say in there, if you have any questions, call your township.
Sign one for paper.
Call your
or-
township.
Maybe that one, I'll sign that to send to the board.
That'll be the only other thing, to send that public notice, if you got any questions, call your township officials.
We'll see if we can,
Haven't heard anything.
see what we can do about getting it out on the net
Or
somehow.
else put Wayne's number, or.
I don't care. Call me, I'm going to, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks.
Where's it going?
We're gonna leave tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, go to New Orleans, or to, South Carolina first, see niece and Karen's parents, staying around there for 2 or 3 days, then we're going to New Orleans for 5 days. Then we're probably gonna stop
John
at
with
this.
you?
Huh?
Hey, John with you too?
No, John Avatar and Kathy.
Oh, you say Karen,
Yeah, well, we're gonna see Karen's mom and dad live right there, and they know all the hot spots to go to, so good travel, stop there, and they'll give us a list of where we should go see what.
We had a bunch of people from our church that left on a cruise.
Free beer.
Yeah, they left this morning.
Oh, yeah?
If you're going, close to the, you going close to the ocean or not?
Probably will go out there, cause Kathy's never seen the ocean.
Most miserable place in July, out of August.
I think we're gonna go to, Outer Banks or something. I don't know, I just
Okay.
go along for the ride.
Jim,
The
you're
women
moving
make the
this
plans,
meeting
I
along?
just go. I approve the payday. You can, we both go. All right, we're gonna send a letter to the contract and a letter, put the letter in the mail or in the free papers for 3 weeks, February. Millage policy,
We
bank,
need to finish, we need to vote on that.
oh, we did.
No,
Oh, Mike,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
yes.
yes.